The United Nations says no humanitarian aid has been distributed in Gaza, despite Israel saying that it is letting some aid through. An Israeli blockade has been in place for almost 3 months now. It comes as Israel's military defended firing shots in the vicinity of a group of diplomats in the West Bank earlier, saying they had deviated from the approved route. No one was injured in the incident. Among the group were 2 Irish diplomats who were based in Ramallah.
They look for anything in a place where increasingly there is nothing. Frantic and famished, Gaza's population is desperate as supplies, choked off by an almost 3-month Israeli blockade, dwindle to nothing.
This is my pot. It is empty. I cannot fill it up. I came to feed my daughter. If I had anything, I would not have come to the soup kitchen. But there is nothing.
As the Israeli military released pictures of aid at the Kerem Shalom crossing into Gaza, humanitarian agencies say it is nowhere near enough, and what little there is not getting distributed.
The trucks that have arrived in Gaza are still within Gaza, but just at the platform at Kerem Shalom. As we speak, none of this aid, that is very limited number of trucks, have reached the Gazan population.
The crossing became a flashpoint for demonstrations earlier, among those Israelis who want aid to go through and those who don't, as increasing international anger over Israel's offensive in Gaza causes anger in Israel too.
What we are doing now in Gaza is very close to a war cry. I repeat, what we are doing now in Gaza is a war without a purpose. From every point of view, this is obnoxious and outrageous and unacceptable, intolerable and unforgivable.
In the West Bank today, Israeli soldiers fired shots near a diplomatic delegation, which Israel said had deviated from its approved route. No one was injured in the incident, which involved 2 Irish diplomats and has been widely condemned.
Our head of mission in Palestine and indeed his deputy were both present, along with a number of diplomats from Europe and indeed from other parts of the world, visiting the Jenin area, and the idea that the Israeli Defence Forces would fire shots in their direction is utterly reprehensible, utterly unacceptable.
Israel's military said it regretted the inconvenience caused by the incident. Fiona Mitchell, RTE News.
In the Dáil, Taoiseach Micheál Martin said the EU-Israeli trade agreement should be suspended while it undergoes a review. Taoiseach Simon Harris confirmed he will bring a memo to Cabinet on the Occupied Territories Bill next week. Opposition parties said more action is needed.
Public concern over the violence in Gaza returned to the gates of Leinster House today. Protesters making their views heard outside. Those concerns reflected inside the Dáil too, where government insisted it is taking steps to act.
I have welcomed yesterday's decision to review the European Union-Israel Association Agreement to examine Israel's compliance with its human rights obligations. It's a step that is long overdue. Ireland is a small country, but I hope it is one with a strong moral compass.
That position underlined by Taoiseach Simon Harris's confirmation he will bring a memo on the Occupied Territories Bill to Cabinet next week. A move given a cautious welcome by Sinn Féin, which said more action is still needed.
Today, Piers Doherty and I have brought forward legislation to stop Ireland's involvement in the sale of Israeli war bonds. Bonds that are used to fund the genocide in Palestine.
Similar concerns shared by other opposition parties, who said the time for talk is over.
A bomb is dropped on average every 4 minutes on Gaza. But even since this debate began, approximately 15 bombs would have fallen, another 35 before the end of the debate.
This government has time and again defended inaction by stating that Ireland has done more than other nations to support the Palestinian people. But the bar is not merely on the floor, it is hidden under the rubble of Gaza.
As TDs raised their voices, those outside do too. Fíor Crokiana, RTE News, Leinster House.
Our political correspondent Micheál Lehane joins us now from Leinster House. Micheál, government and opposition united in condemnation of Israel, but the opposition saying that more practical action needs to be taken.
Yes, it has been an afternoon of fiery and heartfelt contributions in the Dáil. The opposition believe, though, there are tangible actions that government can take, and they look to the Occupied Territories Bill. Indeed, as you could probably hear, there is a protest here again this evening saying that has to be enacted quickly. The Taoiseach will bring that memo to Cabinet next week. But how quickly will the legislation that has been languishing really around Leinster House, despite the tireless advocacy of its author, Senator Francis Black, since 2018, will it happen now quickly? Also, that Sinn Féin bill that would stop the central bank from handling Israeli war bonds, could there be progress on that as well? Also, Labour will bring forward a motion next week that would mandate the government to raise Gaza's case at the UN General Assembly. Will that be accepted or opposed? While the Social Democrats say the time has really come now to stop Irish airspace being used to transport bombs to Israel. Sinead Gibney saying in the last while that planes should be inspected. I suppose it all feeds into a fairly fundamental question that the Fine Gael TD Barry Ward asked in the Chamber this evening. He said, in the future, the question that will be asked is, what did you do to try and stop it? Stop what he said was a stain on inhuman history. He said that will be the measure, and I think the opposition will watch government to see will they take these actions now quickly to answer that question.
OK, Micheál Lehane, Leinster House, thank you.